Hi, it's Anne from Speak More Clearly. I'd like to go through 5 mistakes people make when learning English. If you are aware of these mistakes, then hopefully you won't make them and won't have to go back and fix them up later. I'll work on my English pronunciation after I learn English. Often people say this when they start learning English. Then they realize that while they were practicing their English language skills, they could have been practicing speaking clearly at the same time, saving themselves a lot of effort. We've had a lot of clients who have used our accent reduction courses to speak more clearly after they have gone for job interviews and been told that their communication skills weren't clear and needed work. There is nothing wrong with an accent in English, but if you can't be understood, it becomes very frustrating. So don't ignore your English pronunciation. It's very important to be understood when you speak English for your confidence, to fit in socially, and to get better work opportunities. The second mistake is that once people realize they need to be clearer with their speech, often they forget to practice active listening to native speakers around them. By this, I mean to open their ears and actively pay attention to how others are saying things. How are people saying longer words? Which section or syllable are they emphasizing or stressing in English? For example, do they say accountant or accountant with a de-stressed schwa vowel at the beginning, not a, and a schwa in the last syllable, tint, and the emphasized or stressed syllable being the count syllable, accountant. Or listening for whether people say $9 and leave off the plural S instead of $9. How are people using rhythm? Are they saying each word with a pause in between or linking words to sound more flowing? Do they say, can I come over in the evening? Or do they link words that end in a consonant to the following word that begins with a vowel? So it becomes, can I come over in the evening? Notice I didn't say evening, but evening. The third mistake in learning English and to speak clearly is not to pay attention to vowels. To speak clearly or to gain an American, British, or Australian accent, learning to speak with the relevant vowels is extremely important. If I say, I have a phone under the bed, and don't pay attention to the vowels, it would be hard to understand me. What I needed was an A in have, an O in phone, an in under, and an E in bed. If you do want to gain a particular English accent, then you really need to make sure you are using the correct vowels. The fourth mistake is to think that to speak quickly in English equals English fluency, especially if it's at the cost of being clear. It's good to be able to speak fairly quickly and flowingly in English, but if you are being fast for the sake of it, and are missing out lots of speech elements, then there's no point. Some people speak quickly but aren't speaking with the correct sounds, rhythm, stress, or intonation. The fifth mistake is a little related to the point above. Standard, clear English is a language spoken more slowly than some of the other languages. Researchers discovered the more data-dense the average syllable is, the fewer of those syllables had to be spoken per second. And so, English is slower. English with a high information density of 91 is spoken at an average rate of 6.19 syllables per second. One 2011 study from the Université de Lyon looked at 7 languages which reported the order as Japanese 7.84 syllables per second, Spanish 7.82, French 7.18, Italian 6.99, English 6.19, German 5.97, and Mandarin 5.18. So what does all this mean? It means that because in English each syllable can hold a lot of information such as present, past or future tense, plural or possessive, male or female, common endings, intonation, stress, and the intention or emotion of the speaker, English doesn't have to pack in as many syllables to get the meaning across. Because most languages provide roughly the same amount of information per second, the languages that provide less data per syllable have to use more syllables to get the same meaning across. Basically, all of this is to say it's okay to speak English at a slightly slower rate to be understood, and to make sure you give your mouth a chance to get to the different sound combinations, etc.